here.
Over to Penny, so here we go.
Alrighty, I'm gonna share my screen so I can do a little visual here. All right. Can everyone see it? Great. So I'm going to do a little recap just because I know it's been like talked about a lot, but I'd like to do a little recap just to make sure everyone's on the same page as to where we're going, what we're talking about. So yeah, so the place that we're going to is going to be Chihuahua, Mexico, and that is in the northern part of Mexico, and it's a border state to Texas. And we will be working with Jessica Lopez, who is our partner in Mexico. And when I say partner, I mean, as a missionary organization, we specifically work with partners around the world who are either from the countries that we work in, or they have family connections from these places. So Jessica's mom was originally from Chihuahua, Mexico, and Jessica felt a calling to go back to Mexico to minister to the people that her family is from. And so the reason we do that is for several reasons. It's a better connection with language, with culture, and it's just, we believe the best way to minister to people. And yeah. And so Jessica Lopez is our partner there, and her ministry is called Vida Victoriosa, which means to live victoriously. And her programs are education, nutrition, discipleship, and housing. So all of these are centered mostly around women and kids. So her education program is tutoring, and she works with kids in this area. She kind of partners with a small school right now. And especially during the pandemic, it has been extremely important for this community since the schools have been closed since the pandemic happened. They were able to start back up this year, but they closed down for another month and a half just recently, and they've started back up again. So it's a lot of back and forth, and these kids haven't been able to catch up. And so her tutoring program are for the kids that are just very behind and struggling. And so she focuses on those kids, as well as she also teaches English in the school as well. The nutrition part of it kind of is mostly done in the summertime, but has kind of expanded out to the entire year. So she feeds all of the kids that come to her program during the summer. That's up to 50 kids. During the school time, it's really just the kids that come in the morning to get that extra tutoring time. They also are a part of her nutrition program. So they get a meal, and they also get Miracle Milk, which is a mixture of moringa and just some other things that we thought they needed. Sometimes it's just like flour, rice flour, and it's a mixture, and we mix it with milk to get some extra vitamins there. Just some extra additives for these kids. She also has a discipleship program. She works with women with this. And the picture on the right are some of the teachers and some of the mothers that she works with. And right now her program has expanded, has doubled since this picture. Now they each found a woman that they would like to disciple as well. And so her discipleship program has been growing, and she wants to just be with these women, teach these women, and just kind of start to build a community around these women. And then lastly is the housing program. People in the most need for either their home is in disrepair, or they have just like one room that's not built. It's just kind of made out of plywood or metal sheets, and she wants to help them rebuild or to build that part of the house. So the people that we work with mostly are the Tatamata. They're an indigenous group in this area. They mostly come from the mountains in this area, and many of them have come down looking for work. In their language, they are the, it's very difficult for me to say, but it's the Raramuri. That's the way that they describe themselves. That's their word for it. But many of the people in the area just call them Tatamata. And so a lot of this area is kind of on the outskirts of Chihuahua City, and that's kind of her area that she works in, and that's where a lot of these people end up living. And so this is kind of where her ministry is growing, is with these people. Many of the people that come, they're looking for work, and so a lot of the women, they make baskets or they clean houses, but a lot of people in this area, if you go, you'll see brick making, and you'll see kilns just like throughout the entire area. And so a lot of times this is just what they end up going to for work. And so now we can talk about the trip after I've made my recap there. So the dates we're looking at is July 14th to the 17th. And a little bit about what a trip looks like. What I've said is like she works with kids and women, and so that means so will we. That is her ministry, and that's the people in this community. So that includes like helping with her kids club, because that's what she does in the summertime is that she works with between 20 to 50 kids doing like a Bible club. We'll be helping with her nutrition program. That's maybe mixing some of the miracle milk and handing it out to the kids, and just community, and to see who we're working with, see the community, and to really understand the people that she's helping and why. So why do we go? And I think this is an important question to ask, because we definitely see that being abused within my field for sure. And it's something I like to address, because a lot of people see going on a mission trip or these type of things as a very negative thing, because you could use that money to do something else, which is a valid thing to think. So why do we go instead of just sending the money? And the reasoning that we have seen is to really see the people. You have to see everything that she is doing. We have to hear the stories ourselves, because otherwise we're not personally invested. We don't really know the people that we are helping. And I believe in order to really help someone, you have to really know somebody. And it's also to be to sustain, because her ministry is not something that she does on her own. We partner with her, and then we also partner with people around the US, and they're the kind of the people we all work together to make sure that she is continuing her ministry, not just by herself, but together to sustain her program for the long term. She's the person, even when we're leaving, her program is still going, because we're not the reason that it's happening on the day-to-day, but we're helping her along the way, and we're kind of her advocates back here in the US. And that's really what my job is with her, is to be her advocate here and her other hand here. So if we are signing up, I have the application area. That's childrensrelief.org/teams, and you would click apply now. And the first thing that we do is actually there's a small reading that we have people do. And it's kind of, why do we work with the poor? What does the Bible say about the poor? And why is it important that we work with the poor? So that's kind of a little reading that we have people do before everyone that goes on Teams. And in order to apply, there's also an application fee of $150 that's included in the total cost at the end. the total cost, which I did not write down, is we were looking at based on plane tickets right now, and the application fee is $16.50 is what we're looking at. Depending on flights, of course, they could adjust. We're hoping that things go down a little bit, but yes, that is the cost that we are looking at right now. Right. That's the end of my spiel there. So yes, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to stop sharing my screen unless they actually, I'll keep it up just so you can have that on there if people want to write down some of that. But go ahead and ask questions if you have some.
Penny, what does the rest of the payment plan look like?
Yeah, so first it's the application fee. And the next thing that we do is kind of the next chunk is the plane tickets. And I'm trying to remember if we're looking at May to purchase tickets, or depending on if we're seeing probably flights maybe go up in the future, trying to buy them a little bit earlier, kind of just depends. So we have some time. That's kind of like the next chunk is buying the plane tickets. And then
I know you said that that's obviously variable, but about how much of the 1625 is that, or sorry, the 1650 is plane tickets? Like how much should people be expecting, in that second chunk?
Right now, I think I was seeing about 500 to 600.
Okay. And then is the rest of it due like, June, right before the trip? Like what's kind of
it's like about a month out, so June.
Okay.
And plane tickets we take care of everything on that. So we buy the plane tickets to make sure everyone's on the same flight. And it's always a direct flight because it's a very easy flight from Dallas to Chihuahua. But if there are other people who are not specifically in Dallas, we also take care of that to get their connection flights around the same time. We have someone that helps us coordinate all of that. And that includes insurance as well. We cover health insurance it's like a travel insurance as well.
Sure.
Yeah, we take care of all of
that. For those of us who do not habla Espanol very well, what does that look like on the ground down there? What do we need to be doing in the current well, here, sorry, I'll pause that. Sue's asking if she can use a American Airlines voucher.
I can ask. I will ask we have like a Teams department, which is a few people. I will definitely ask them that question for sure.
I know Sue's probably also not above just, navigating Chihuahua City on her own and finding it. She's pretty adventurous. Anyway, yeah. So those of us who are not fluent in Spanish, should we be on Duolingo right now? How do we not end up being burdensome to the team while we're down there? What can we do in this next, 5 months, 4 months, whatever, to maximize our ability to engage in Chihuahua City?
Yeah, so I'll send out just like some basic Spanish for sure to people, so they have some basic knowledge. We like people to know at the very least the basics of just like, hello, how are you? Just trying to practice as much as you can to be able to even just introduce yourself to somebody and to the kids. And Jessica speaks both very fluently, so she will be able to translate, but definitely she's not there at all times. She can't be translating for everyone every second of the day. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to learn some sort of, if not like just the basic Spanish, and then as much as you can until that point. Sure, definitely. as soon as we can. Even if I can get like a couple people to sign up in the next week or two, that would be fantastic. And that kind of gets us on the calendar. If some people are kind of thinking about it more, just let me know how long you would want to think about it, or people are just kind of like, I need this much time to figure out if this is something I want to do, just let me know. But yes, let me see. Yes, yeah, you can bring someone younger just as long as we know. And there's an adult, there's like, we have to have like a certain number of adults that go with kids, but it's just one kid. It's fine. Yeah.
I have lots of other questions, but they're all very much like detail questions about, like how much, spending money should we bring and stuff like that. That's really more, I'm sure we'll have later
Yeah.
meetings that will cover that stuff. I don't personally have any more kind of like 30,000 foot informational questions. Anyone else have any?
Well, so I think that, like, to piggyback off of that, so obviously you said within the next week or two, if we can get like a few people committed, like that would be ideal. And then having like a hard, or like you said, I mean, obviously having a flexible, like if people are even considering it, having like a hard date of like, by Easter, we want everyone to have signed up that is interested. That gives us a month from now. Whatever, right? And then from there, like you said, being prepared either by like doing your own individual fundraising or figuring out something like with the church, or us hosting fundraising events and stuff, then being able to pay for like plane tickets outright, and then from there it's like the remaining cost and whatever. So yeah, I think that was more, obviously not that great of a question, just a like, how concrete do things need to be before, and like when would you anticipate another meeting being, like would it be after we've gotten sort of like the quote unquote final signups, or how often would we be meeting, that kind of stuff. And I will say, as a personal plug for Duolingo, like it is totally free, and it is as good as Rosetta Stone, which is like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You're not going to be like the most conversational, but you're going to learn a ton of helpful information, so that you're not just like going in there and being like, hola, me llamo Amanda, like,
I was using it while I was there last summer, but it's very funny because Jessica also would get on my Duolingo and then she would get things wrong. So I will say that.
Right.
And she is fluent.
It's very much like school Spanish.
Very school Spanish.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I mean, there's like a lot of times that it's very flexible in, just like in English, like anytime a person that's not a native English speaker says to me, like, I hungry, like I know that person is meaning I am hungry, probably, right? Like more than likely it means, or like I eat food, even, that kind of stuff. So I just think that it's that's the beauty of language, is you don't have to be perfect, and you can just learn and practice, and it's great.
Yeah. So that question that was just asked for donations, yes, we can create a donation page for you specifically, if that's something that each person does get a donation page, because that's where if one person, if like you want to pay for yourself, that's where you put it. And then if someone else wants to donate to you or for you, we'll have a donation page for you. Where that can
And
be.
to the previous question, there are currently no formal plans for fundraising. However, there can be.
Yes, there can.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Penny, any final thoughts, wisdom, instructions?
Yeah, for like a next meeting, we can kind of see how signups go, and if we can get a couple people to sign up, I would love to just start setting up meetings specifically for those people, but then also people who are kind of on the fence. I would love for you to join to kind of be a part of that as well. Yeah, let's kind of see how this week goes. Then we can set that
Excellent.
up. Mhm.
All right. Well, if you're watching this live, obviously you have the sign up link there, and it's in the chat as well. If you're watching at a later date in 2022, it might still be not too late to sign up. If you're watching this in the far future, I hope we had a good time. And sorry you weren't with us. Maybe come to the next one. But yeah, thank you, Penny, for leading on this. And Sarah and Amanda are also going to be kind of helping Penny spearhead this. So if you have any questions for any of them, you can contact them. This video is going to be available for folks to watch and be able to continue to sign up. So yeah, thanks everyone. Penny, great job. Very excited about this. I'm going to stop the recording now. So if you're watching virtually, or if you're watching after time, see you later.